The first thing you typically have to do when you're about to add type to your design is to think about the font. A font is simply a family of a like-minded set of text that looks alike and that you can apply different styles to, such as regular and all these other ones. Now, the cool thing about styles is that they're different for different fonts. Let me show you an example. This is Myriad Pro, and it has all these different styles. I can also see a sample as to what it's going to look like. Now, if you don't see these samples here, let me show you how to turn that on. I'm going to go to my preferences, and I'm going to go to type. And let me move this up a little bit. As you can see, as long as I have this font preview size enabled, then I can turn on that ability to preview that font, and I can change how large I see it in my interface. So that's really the way you turn that on. I'm going to go ahead and just close this for now. Another thing about fonts is that you have to be pretty mindful as to which font to use for the task. Let's say you're doing something for a special on dinosaurs. Well, you have to go and look at those fonts and see what's going to look good. So something that's going to look prehistoric, Papyrus is a good example. I'll go ahead and click and type something. And I'm going to use my size guy here and increase that. Of course, I have to select it first. And then I have this really cool font that says dinosaurs. It looks all jaggedy and everything. Now, you may have noticed that I turned the type tool off by clicking on the move tool. The benefit to doing this is that you can still change the size of the text without using the controls. Just press Command or Control T. You'll get your handles, and then you can move it around and do whatever you like. So you can squash it and stretch it. And as you can see here, this looks pretty good for dinosaurs. Now, granted, I would think to use a thicker font, but the show I'm talking about tonight could be about Apatosaurus, which is the guy with the long neck. So we have this really cool long font. I would use something a lot thicker and scarier for Tyrannosaurus, such as Impact. So how do I change the color of this text? Well, there are two ways to select your text. The easiest way is to use the layers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the layers panel, and I'm going to double click on the T. That selects all of the letters, and I can go to the swatch up here, and I can choose a color. But what if you want to play around and you want to have something different, as far as maybe Dino is blue, but Soars is red? Well, as you see here, I have the type tool selected, and I can click anywhere to get this I-beam to flash where I want to start my change. So I can click and drag, go to my swatch, choose red, get my move tool, turn that off, and now I have two different colors in the same word. The cool thing about this is you can get pretty creative as well. Watch this. I'm going to go back to my type tool, and I'm going to double click on the T, and I'm going to grab the S here, and I'm actually going to press Command Control X to cut it. So it's not there anymore. So I'll hit my space bar a couple times to make room for the S I'm going to bring in. I'll go ahead and collapse that, grab my move tool, press Command or Control T so I can get everything back in the screen, hit Enter or Return to accept that, and now press Command or Control V so I can paste my text somewhere else. So I'll grab my type tool, click one time up here, Command or Control V, here's my S, grab my move tool, press Command or Control T again, scale it, move it where I want to, even rotate it a little bit by moving my mouse to the corners here, hitting Enter or Return, and now I have a cool logo, dinosaurs. That is how you can use the ability to change your fonts and the ability to change the color in your type.